Hey guys, this is MB from UnderdogChance.com, and in today's video I will share my betting model projections for baseball. I didn't find any qualified bet, but I will use this opportunity to explain my spreadsheet, my betting model. So if you use my betting model projections, this will be valuable information because I will explain every single column and every single cell so you know what we are looking for. Because this is one basic thing that every sports bettor should have. This is what I believe. So those are my original projections. I'm profitable so far this season, and I believe that or hope that I will finish with profit at the end. There's still a lot of games, and I'm looking for a little bit more profit. My goal was to make around 30-35 units, and I would exit if I would reach minus 50. So I'm in green numbers, which is great. And this is my projections for myself, where I project my own probabilities. I add bookmakers odds, and then a betting model will show me adjusted Kelly. And when it shows the number 1.5, then this is qualified bet. Okay. And 2 days ago, I created another spreadsheet. So basically, I scrape the data from that spreadsheet where I organize a little bit more information. It is a little bit more intuitive, and those who use my projections, they can use these numbers. Because one big mistake people make, you see, when let's say yesterday I had Toronto. Okay, I had Toronto, also Minnesota was a qualified bet yesterday. And Toronto was 1.68. And what people do, they simply blindly follow. So Toronto money line, okay, it was a winning bet, but they see, okay, Toronto money line, I need to bet Toronto money line. Well, this is not quite true, because if you don't get the same price, maybe this is not qualified bet anymore. Okay. The second thing is, I also don't recommend to wait to bet just before the game starts. Okay, so right now the time is 2, 3, 5. This is not anymore a good time to bet. Okay, because the prices will form. You will get most efficient odds, and in theory you will not win against those prices. Also, again, people ask me what I do. For example, if I bet on in the morning at let's say I'll just type it here. Okay, I will make it like this. Let's say that I bet on Toronto minus 105. Okay, I will explain in American odds in the morning. Okay, and you follow pick, and it is Toronto minus, let's say, 15 at that moment. Maybe this is not a good bet anymore. Okay, another example, I bet Toronto minus 105 in the morning, and then I see that just before the game start it is plus 104. Okay, and this was not qualified. This would be qualified. However, I never hunt closing line odds. Okay, if this is the case, then I say, okay, I was wrong on this game, and I simply move. Okay, I don't take. I'm not telling you what to do, but don't take any bets 1-2 hours before the game starts, because when the game starts in the morning, okay, bookmakers open the odds, and this is the price they think is a good price. Okay, and then sharp bettors start betting, other bettors are betting, money is starting flowing into this, and then the price start forming. Okay, and once bookmakers have more and more information about what sharps are betting, what other people are betting, new information about the team, about injuries, about players lineups, every single minute closer to the game, they have more and more information about that game. And you don't want to be a guy who will try to beat them when they have the most information. Okay, I hope this makes sense. That's why following picks 2-3 hours before the game is complete nonsense. In the long run, you won't win. Okay, so when this happens, this is not okay, because you get a worse price. And if you bet this on this just before the game start, you'll say, okay, my adjusted Kelly jumped to 1.5, and no, it is qualified. Let's say here it was 1.9, which was not qualified, because I'm looking for 1.5. And here let's say it jumped to 1.55, and you say, okay, it is more than 1.5, I will bet plus 104. Yes, on this theory, but I'm not smarter than markets. I'm aware of this. Okay, I'm just one single person. I'm nothing special. Okay, all my betting models are wrong. I'm not superhuman. I'm not the best in the world, and I know my limitations. Okay, and my one of my limitations and being aware of this is that I'm not smarter than bookmakers when they have all the information. Okay, around 70% of times I am correct. Okay, my odds drop, but in other cases, when I see this, I don't hunt better price just because it catch my adjusted cali, because then I see, okay, I was wrong on this. Okay, my betting model was wrong on this. No betting model is perfect. No betting model has 100% beating the closing line. Okay, I simply say, okay, I was wrong. I move to the next day or to the next game. Simply as that. Okay. Okay, I hope this helps. This is, I think, this is something many people ask me, and always you need to compare your odds. You see, for example, someone bets on Toronto minus 105 on Bet Online. Okay, you get early odds, good odds on Bet Online. And those were the odds on Bet Online. Let's say minus 105, minus 105. And then someone else use FanDuel or on those American shitty bookmakers that you have there, right? And you have the odds minus 150 and minus 108 or something like that, right? FanDuel, DraftKings. This is for recreational amateur bettors, right? And you cannot, you see, you don't you don't use this odds. You must use those prices, not those prices. When you analyze games, if you have probabilities, you need to use your bookmaker's price, because this is the price you pay, right? It is like if you go to a market and the price for tomato is $1 American, okay, for you, and for me here is, I don't know, 0.8 American dollar for one tomato or one apple. You still need to pay $1. Okay, you cannot just pay apple because in, I don't know, in Brazil is 0.8. Okay, you need to go with your market, your bookmaker's odds, and the probability from my betting model is always the same, or at least the formulas are always the same. Of course, if you use betting model, there can be discrepancies, because we can use different players lineups, we can use different settings, because players lineups are also predictions. But whatever betting model gives you, the probabilities is a probability, right? But the price you pay, it must always be your price. If you use FanDuel, DraftKings, or Whale Kings, or I don't know, Super Kings, or whatever bookmakers there are, you need to use that number. Okay. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Okay, so I will delete this. And we will go to Discord. So I want to explain this table. Maybe the video will be a little bit longer, maybe not for everyone, the people who are looking for picks, but those who use spreadsheets or are thinking a little bit more analytically about betting and long term, maybe you will appreciate this. Okay. So we have Philadelphia, Washington. As I said, we have my projected odds. This is what my betting model tell me. I simply convert this into the odds, and then you can check, okay, what is bookmaker line, what is my line, and then you can decide, okay, if you use other analysis as well. Here I have the totals. I never really bet totals. I saw in my masterclass group that one or two, three guys, I think they're doing pretty well with totals. I didn't go deep into this because I don't want to expand my focus too much. But of course, once you have a betting model, you can do many things. And also, once you have projections, if you don't want to build betting model, or if you don't want to do this analysis every single day, you can see this spreadsheet and you can use. So the total, for example, you check the bookmaker's total, and if it says, I don't know, 7.5 and my projected is 9.43, then you can consider betting on over, right? Because why? Because bookmakers say they expect 7.5 runs, and I or my betting model expects 9.43. Okay, this is just example. Again, you can add more layers. Okay, you can always add more layers to make final bets. Okay, because good analysis can be multidimensional. For example, I will give you another example. Okay, let's say that bookmakers offer 7.5 total and my betting model offers 9.43. This is one layer. Okay, then you say you will check the line movement, you will check the odds. The second layer, third layer, you can check the weather. I don't include the weather here because uh, of course every betting model is unique. Okay, you can take all kind of information that you want, and when it comes to building betting models, what I recommend is that you start small. Okay, start focusing on the things that have the biggest impact on the game, and start focusing on your own unique angle. Okay, because if you want to include every single detail, and with every single detail you will add an error, you will make more mistakes than you expect. Okay, of course, if you're very I don't know, if you're very comfortable with programming, or if you're skilled, of course you can include all kind of things. But how I did it, I most of the times I started focusing on some specific angles that I liked. Okay, this is what I focused, and then I started building betting model and try to find that angle and the edge. Okay, and for weather, based on my way of betting, it was not that wasn't good, because if I make projections in the morning in Europe, and then I need to predict the weather. The weather is not 100% sure, right? We always predict the weather. So what I predict? First, I predict numbers with betting model. Secondly, then I predict lineups. Okay, I always combine lineups with teams numbers, because in the morning, if I want to catch or grab better odds, I need to predict the lineup. So the lineup is not always 100% correct, but that's why I also use discrepancy, right? We can take this into account. Then if we include the weather, we know that the weather is very unpredictable. Okay, they can say the wind will be, I don't know, whatever on the rain, and then completely changes. Okay, and weather is much more important for the totals. Okay, but if you can include this smartly, you can add another layer. For example, if they play in a ballpark and you have a pitcher, let's say who has higher fly balls, so you can go to Fangraphs or you can go to Baseball Reference. You can click on every single pitcher, and then you have ground ball per fly ball ratings, and some pitchers tend to pitch balls in a way where hitters hit a little bit more in the air and some a little bit in the ground, right? And if the wind is blowing out, the balls in the air might fly a little bit longer, and we can expect it can help a little bit more runs or home runs. If wind is blowing inside, maybe it will stop two or three, I don't know, two or three balls. Okay, this small difference, and you can also include then also referees. Okay, we have referees who have bigger striker zone, smaller striker zone. You can always add those layers. And then, for example, you say, okay, I will bet on totals if betting model says that projections are higher than bookmakers total. Let's say my projection 9.43, bookmakers 1.75. Plus another condition that must meet is that if wind is blowing out, or if the pitcher is fly ball pitcher. Okay, this is just the idea. Okay, you can always use your own common sense and unique way of betting, and this is something I try to explain for many many years that you don't need to blindly follow anyone, but you can use good tools, quality tools like betting model, betting spreadsheets, and then you can use and find your own way of selecting games. Okay, so you can add betting model, line movements, odds, referees, weather. You can also use psychological factor. For example, if something bad happened in the club, you automatically stay out of that games for next 5 games. Okay, you can always you can create your own way of betting, when you where you combine a betting model with other layers. Okay, but what is important, what is very very important is that once you define these things, you need to stick to these things. Okay, if you decide that weather must blow out, and when you look at weather at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. whatever, okay, and let's say it must be, I don't know, 100 miles per hour, I don't know if this is good, I don't know, but let's say 50 miles per hour, whatever. If wind is blowing more than this number, then this is check, and you have betting model check, wind check, weather check, pitcher check, referee check, and this is a qualified bet. Of course, you will not have action every single day, but this is also another thing. Many sports bettors make big mistake. For example, today I don't have any qualified bet. It happened to me that I didn't have any qualified bet for 4 days. And this is completely okay if you play the long game. Okay, if you play long game, if you want to make, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 units per year, depends on how much effort you put in. But if you play this game of reinvesting these profits, then it is completely okay to stay away from games for a couple of days, because you don't bet because of dopamine, but because of money and profit, right? The problem is when people need action. Okay, where are the peaks? I need to bet something, and this is more psychological problem, and maybe those people need already help because of addiction, but this is another topic. Okay, what I want to say is that you can create your own system which can include betting models, spreadsheets like this, and other layers. Okay, and once you find that your own unique way, you can make profit. Okay, and you can make unique bets that only you can make, not other people. And because if you sign up for odds screen, and let's say, you know how odds screens works, right? They use Pinnacle odds, they try to copy actual sharp bettors, and then they try to attack soft bookmakers. Okay, or Steam moves, they try to attack soft bookmakers, which will limit them sooner or later. However, at a certain time, the odds, let's say on some FanDuel or DraftKings or whatever, is, I don't know, minus 130, and they all attack minus 100 130, because this is the exactly odds that is used, right? And bookmakers know what they are doing, and they know, and they adjust it quickly, right? But if you can use betting model plus your own ideas, okay, you can create your own unique betting style. It can be very profitable, and it can be only yours. Okay, this is something I wanted to say. Okay, it is not necessary to blindly follow anyone's speaks or anyone's numbers, because it is very hard because of timing, because we don't have bookmakers, the same bookmakers odds. The projections can be same, but we don't have other things same. Okay, then this is for full game projections. Okay, so what I'm focusing on the full game, where I combine pitcher statistics, starting pitcher statistics, depends on how long a pitcher goes into the game, and bullpen statistics. Okay, I'm combining seasonal bullpen numbers with current form, and I also do this for starting pitcher, and also for hitting, also for players. Okay, so I see how they play overall, and I also try to give a little bit momentum for last 30 days. It can be also last 14 days, but of course, all advanced statistics that are much better than, for example, betting average or ERA, but I try to combine this. Okay, so when it comes to full game, I take all the all the information. So a starting pitcher, if it is lefty, he goes against team statistics against lefties and player statistics against lefties, plus overall, because I really don't know if they will change it at four, let's say in fourth inning, and then bullpen comes. And when it comes to the bullpen, I really don't know who will pitch. Maybe they will go with lefty, with righty, and the best way is the best way is to go against overall statistics. Okay, if you have a left-handed pitcher, you cannot use hitting statistics from players and teams only against lefties, because maybe he will pitch only 5 innings, and most pitchers pitch around 5 innings, and then you have almost half game or 40% of game. You use completely wrong statistics. Okay, so you need to combine this. Okay, and I combine this. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. So this is a full game, and here I focus only on first 5 inning, and in many cases this can be very attractive. Because why? Because for example, when it comes to bullpen, I really don't know who will pitch in today's game, because we know the strategy. Sometimes they use lefty against the lefty, and maybe lefty pitcher will go only against one hitter. Okay, but when it comes to first 5 innings, we can say with high probability that this will be duel from a pitcher against a player's lineup and the team. Okay, and then you can actually focus. If you have, let's say, Mitchell Parker in this one, he's lefty. We can simply use Philadelphia's lineup and how this lineup hits against lefties, and we don't need to focus how they hit against righties. Okay, in first 5 innings. And with this, we go more specialized numbers. Okay, a little bit more narrow focus. Okay, and this is what those numbers show. Okay, my betting model projects probability. Then we turn this into the odds, and again the total. Okay, and then again you can check bookmakers projections and totals, and then you compare. So you say, okay, this is my price, and I know I'm looking what my bookmaker offers me, whatever this is, FanDuel, DraftKings, Whale Kings, or whatever, I don't know, Pinnacle, Circa, Bet Online, whatever it is. Okay, but the price, your price that you compare with projections, is always your bookmaker. Okay, and then at the end of the game, when you track bets, and this is another topic, tracking bets is another topic. Okay, this is projections, analyzing games. So you make a betting decision, and once you make a betting decision, then you close the laptop, turn off TV, and have fun in nature with your kids and your friends, and you don't need to bother with results or whatever happened. And the next day you can simply check what was Pinnacle closing odds, okay, or Circa closing odds if you have, and you can then see, if you take, for example, plus 164 and the Pinnacle closing odds, you can find this on Odds Portal, for example, or you can use VPN. This is something I think every bettor should use because many things are many things are locked, and I will talk about responsibility, and this is just my way, how my view on the world, because the biggest problem is that in this world is that we treat adult people like kids, right? So they don't need to take responsibility. But about this a little bit later, okay? So you simply compare this with your bookmaker, and then you can see the if there is a value, okay? And you can go to my website, bet sizing. Why I don't see the face? Okay. You can go to my website and click on bet sizing, and there is a calculator. You simply type my projected odds from betting model, and then you can type your bookmaker's odds, and it will show you the value or not. Okay. Then I have here some rankings for people who wants to use rankings, or you can also add another layer in your betting decision. For example, this is a nice example. Boston hitting is sixth in the league based on my statistics this season. However, in last 30 days, they are weaker, and you can find this. So you can say, okay, if I have a value with Miami, plus if in last 30 days hitting is better than the other team, then this is confirmation that my bet is good, okay? So I have ranks for bullpen season, bullpen how they pitch in last 30 days. For example, this one, Houston, very good this season. Lately they struggle a little bit. Or on the other side, what kind of team is this? St. Louis, better bullpen right now. Okay, you can check these numbers. Also this one, Boston. What else? Okay, this was second. This is Yankees. Okay, and so on. Okay, and then here on the right side, okay, this is something I added right now. But those are minimum odds that I would take based on my adjusted Kelly criterion, which is 1.5. Okay, Kelly criterion is one formula which takes into account probability, my projected probability, and bookmakers' odds. And if there is enough discrepancy, it will show me the number. And if the number is bigger, the better value. And I set my own benchmark or criteria, which is 1.5 or 0.15. And based on this, those are minimum starting point for higher value bets. Okay, minimum qualifying odds for myself this season. So I would take Philadelphia if I can get them at minus 121. They are minus 160, so this is not good. Okay, for example, Boston, I would take Boston if I can get them at minus 160. They are minus 206. I think we have Colorado close to be qualified. But where is or Cincinnati, Milwaukee, right? I would take Milwaukee at plus 116. They are minus 119. I would take Cincinnati at plus 177. They are plus 130. There is not enough discrepancies, but as I said, so far I found this is what around 300 qualified bets every single day. Okay, so you can check. So I would take Detroit at plus 154, Minnesota at plus 133. Okay, those are just my reasonable prices that I'm willing to take. So it is like you go to a store, you want to buy a car, let's say whatever car this is, and you say, okay, I will buy this car only if I get it for 20,000 American dollars or 50,000. If it is 70, 80, I'm not taking it, but you know already what is your price. And those are my prices, okay? Those are my prices that I'm willing to take. American odds, decimal, and this is for first five and for first five money line, okay? Also, when it comes to first five money lines, when I see the value, okay, for example, yesterday I had Minnesota, but this is not good example. When I see the value with first five innings, and if this is an underdog bet, I usually take plus 0.5, okay? Because, of course, with both, if there is a value, it is a value with both. But I've taken plus 0.5 to take less riskier, not less riskier, but bet with higher probability of positive outcome, okay? In the long run, in theory, if you have really long term and opportunities, both are plus EV, right? And for this, I sacrifice better price, but in the short period of time, this is better for me, okay? But again, this is what I do with first five innings. If there is underdog and I can get 1.6 or better, or usually around 1.7. What is 1.7? Just check. 1.7 is what? 1.7 is around minus 140 or better. Then I take plus 0.5. Plus 0.5 is smaller run line. I don't know how different bookmakers present this, but plus 0.5 means that if teams are tied after five innings, it is a winning bet for you. So your team can lead after five innings, or it can be a tie. And especially when we have low scoring teams, two good pitchers, and one team is much better than the other, many times weaker team can hold them for first five inning as a tie, and then they lose later in the game when bullpen comes in. And if they can hold low scoring game 1-1, 0-0, 2-2 many times, this is a good bet. Okay, so those are all my sales and projections, and let's go quickly through all the numbers. Miami, Boston, Junk against Crochet. Crochet, one of the best pitchers. My projected numbers -206 on Boston. Texas, Toronto. I had Toronto yesterday. It was a winning bet. Toronto completely crushed them. But of course, results has nothing to do with betting. I hope you know this. Okay, you need to check only the odds movement. Okay, nothing. Results are not important. It would be the same. Yesterday, I think Toronto beat Texas 14-2 or something like that. 14-2. Okay, and I would be much. And the closing, the odds dropped a little bit for a couple of cents from, I don't know, I don't know what was the price, but let's say -105 dropped to -110. I would be much happier if that would be very close game, if Toronto would take a lucky win in last inning, but the odds would drop to -130, because this was the right bet. Okay, not the bet is not right if your team wins 20-0. This has nothing to do with betting. This is just for fans. Okay, you need to check the prices. This is the most important thing. Okay. Atlanta, Cleveland, Fed against Logan Allen. I made a mistake. He needs to be lefty, but I don't think there will be any value anyway. Milwaukee, Cincinnati, two left-handed pitchers. -119 is my line on Milwaukee, and +119 on Cincinnati. Baltimore, Kramer against Assad. -126 is my line on Houston. Okay, so this is my line. Detroit, Chris Paddock. I think pitcher was to be decided, but if Minnesota starts with league average pitcher, this is close to 50-50 game. White Sox, Kansas. Based on my projections, Kansas must be a favorite. -133 is my line. Yankees, St. Louis, Will Warren against Mile Mikolas. My betting model gives better chance to Yankees, 56 point, close to 57% of chance. Pittsburgh, Mlodzinski against Assad. Oh, I have Assad two times. Okay, I need to check this one more time. Okay, we can check this. But anyway, I will check one more time the pictures. Those are my projected numbers. Arizona, Colorado, close to 50-50, both average pitchers. Angels against Oakland, -122 on Oakland. Also, he's the lefty. Something is wrong here. Yeah. Okay, I made a mistake here. I put wrong hands. But anyway, the probabilities should be very close. Tampa Bay Rays, San Francisco, -128 on San Francisco. Darvish, Tyler Glasnow, better chance to Dodgers, and Seattle, New York Mets, better chance to Seattle. Okay, based on my probabilities. Okay, so what I wanted to say, one more thing about the problem of today's world, especially when it comes to betting, is that we treat. So why so many bookmakers are restricted or limited in some countries? Okay, I think this is completely crazy. Okay, and this is just my view. It's good that nobody asked me. Okay, but I will just share my opinion. Okay, and how I see the world. I think I'm big fan of complete free speech and complete freedom. Okay, why? Because I trust you. Okay, I trust in your decisions. Okay, if you watch this video, you're 18 plus. You must be 18 plus. And the problem of this world is that we treat adult people like they are kids. Okay, we restrict bookmakers because you're afraid that some guy, adult guy, will have gambling problems. So fucking what? He's adult. He must take responsibility. And the drugs are there, so everyone should take full responsibility. Okay. And when I see people blaming others, they give their power to others. They blame for their losses. They blame handicappers. They blame scammers. They blame government. They blame, I don't know. Come on, guys. Okay. I believe that we should start treating adult people like adults, not like kids. Okay. Everyone who starts betting is an adult. This is the first thing. Second thing, everyone who starts betting, nobody forced him to start betting. So it is your decision. If you cannot take responsibility for all the losses, all the decisions that you make, you should lose. You decided to watch my video. You decided that you will bet on baseball. You decided you will use betting malls, bookmakers, or whatever. Adult people should have complete freedom. They can have choices, and they should have complete freedom, and then they should take full responsibility. If I start When I go to a market, I see all kind of whiskey and alcohol, and if I buy alcohol, it is my responsibility. The government doesn't need to restrict from me, because if they restrict from me, then they just say that they don't trust me, and I don't want that they don't trust me. Okay, I like to act like an adult. Okay, and when I see people, they buy some things, and then they come back and they are angry because they didn't read the terms, and hey, it is your responsibility. I don't know what people are doing, right? How can you win anything in life if you don't take responsibility? And I am completely for free speech and complete freedom, because I respect you, I trust you, I respect every single adult person. I respect in his decisions. If an adult decides to take drugs, that's his decision. Who I am to tell that this is not okay, or gamble or betting? Yeah, of course. Some people will, I don't know, lose families, but who am I to hold? We should start teaching our kids more about responsibility rather than trying to save them, and especially trying to save adult people, because because we don't trust adult people, and we treat adult people like kids. And then, I don't know, 50 years old guys are on social media commenting under anonymous accounts and acting like kids. And then we need to restrict free speech. We need to restrict I don't know, all kind of things. And I think this is completely crazy. If if we give and we start respecting adult people at least once, and we start uh, trusting adult people and stop acting like they are kids, maybe the world will change once adult people will see that they can take whatever they want, they can do whatever they want, but they also know that they need to take responsibility, right? um, because because I don't know in which direction is this going, because everyone is offended for everything, and nobody's taking responsibility for anything, and that's just my opinion. Okay, and again, maybe it's good that nobody's listening to me, because I'm nobody. And but still, I think that we should stop treating adult people like kids. Okay, and I would allow betting in every single country, and people who are weak, they should, this is nature. In nature, weak don't survive. And in such cases, we should take care of weak people. We should take care of all weak people in terms of helping them, but we should focus a little bit more on education about responsibility. That's what I think. Okay, I am fully responsible. When I was 17 years old, and I went to capital city, and after that, my father and mother, they didn't I don't know, tell me what to do. When I was divorced, I called my father and I said, okay, I'm divorced now, and he just said, hey, you know what you're doing, and that's it. Nothing, we no drama, nothing. You know, you're adult, you know what you're doing. And when I was 16 or 17, I was involved in one fight, and police arrest me, and I had to pay some damage. And my father told me then that whatever I make or do, I will need to take full responsibility. If I go to jail, he will visit me every single day, but I must pay. You can do whatever you want, but you will pay for the, you know, you must take responsibility for your actions, simply as that. Okay, if I buy, I don't know, if I buy a car and it has 30-day guarantee, and then I come back after 50 days, and then I ask, no, take responsibility, fucking take responsibility. And this is how I was raised all the time. Take responsibility for everything. Okay, nobody asked me, nobody saved me. I didn't have any saver. And I believe that people should start taking full responsibility and stop acting like kids. And we should start uh, treating them like a kids. Okay, that's it for me today. Okay, I will check my projections, but I'm late anyway. I will check left-handed pitchers here. I can make just. I can do this right now. Oakland, Jeffrey Springs is lefty. If we take, where is Oakland? Those are bookmakers odds. There's no edge, no value. I can also check. There was no value with this, so I can just make it just to check. And Houston. Who is pitching for Houston? Who is pitching for Houston? I will check. Houston. Javier. Javier. No, he's average, yes. So he wouldn't be anyway qualified bet for Houston because he's average automatically. If they start with average pitcher, 54.28% of chance right now, very close. And I said Assad, and this is okay as Chicago Cubs. This is okay. Nothing. Atlanta, Cleveland. I need to change this, right? Cleveland. I need to change this to lefty. Atlanta, Cleveland. The odds. I don't think there will be any change. No, there is no change. We can also check Atlanta, Cleveland. Those are bookmakers odds. No value here as well. No, so there's nothing changes. Okay, I when I was typing Javier, I automatically put Javier for instead of average, and I missed left-handed pitcher for Cleveland, Logan Allen and Jeffrey Springs, but there's no qualified bet for me anyway. Okay, so nothing changes. Okay, so here automatically changes. Okay, okay, that's it from me today. The video was a little bit longer, but this is how I make my own analysis. And of course, if you want to get my analysis, learn my way of betting, there are different ways of betting. You can use arbitrage. You can sign up for odd screens and then try to bet soft bookmakers and mimic what sharps are doing. Or you can, if you are analytical and if you want to use betting models, you can learn betting models from me. Okay, they are not the best, they are not most complex, they are in Google spreadsheets, but they are working. They work for me for years, and they changed my life. And I can show you how I do it. You get all my betting models, or you can simply learn my way of betting and how I think and everything else that is related to sports betting. You can visit underdogchance.com. There is all information you need. And if not, I hope at least one idea was useful. And again, it is everything I say, everything is wrong. Don't listen to me. Always make your own final decisions. I respect you. I trust you. You're an adult, and take it, test it, and don't blame anyone. Okay, I'm just one unimportant guy who share my way of betting. Thank you for watching. See you next time.